Then we are back then with this stream, which we had to abandon the last one due to the fact basically the game glitched out, and then when I tried to pause it, as soon as I exited the game because I had to get into the lobby, yeah. Right, so we're back for, as I said a bit earlier, we're back due to the fact the lobby glitched out, which was a bit of a disappointment, but yeah, the grid has to get reset, and then yeah. So far, whilst we're waiting, I might as well give you a bit of a IndyCar rundown. There's only 20 seconds on the round 2 NTT IndyCar qualifying. I think they're in Group 2 as Herta goes to the top. Colton Herta, that is. Dixon's currently improving. About 10th up on the lap time as Lundgaard goes P2. Then, Christian Lundgaard, that is. So, yeah. I think they're at Road America, I think. Or is it Mid-Idaho? Not too sure. Somewhere in America. It's IndyCar, to be fair. Just watching it currently on Sky Sports F1. Don't think anyone else is improving. Even though, what can Will Power do? Which, oh no, that's not Will Power, that's McLaughlin. I thought that was Will Power. Power, I think, is out. In case you don't know, Power, probably my favourite IndyCar driver overall. Him or Ericsson. So, yeah, pretty good sport IndyCar can be. And yeah, Kurta through, I think, in the round 2 with Lundgaard, Rahal, Kirkwood, Dixon, and Alex Palou. Then, which pretty decent. and they will go, I think, into the Fast Six, if I'm correct in saying. So, yeah, out is Power, McLaughlin, Ericsson, Rosenquist, Harvey, and I think, who was the other one out? Malukas. So, yeah. That's whilst we're waiting anyway for the lobby to, you know, might as well give a bit of, yeah. So, it's Mid-Ohio. Yeah, Mid-Ohio, where they're racing apparently, in the IndyCar. Probably the first time, actually, someone's ever done a bit of an IndyCar commentary whilst, you know, doing F1 comms. Maybe not, who knows. Anyway. There was a scary crash, actually, at Mid-Ohio, I saw on Instagram. Simon Pagenaud, it was, barrel rolled his car. I think it was 6 or 7 times. It was insane. In fact, it's on one of my short videos, which you can always check out if you're curious. And yeah. And talking of big crashes this weekend, obviously, sadly, a driver lost his life at Spa-Francorchamps, which, yeah, it's pretty sad. Again, another driver lost his life to the accident. I mean, it's amazing how far safety's come, but what's sad about it is also how these accidents do occur. They never get any easier when they occur for anyone who likes motorsport, I suppose, you know. But that's also the risk, I suppose, of motorsport. You know, it's always been a dangerous sport, unfortunately. So, yeah, these drivers also know what they get kind of into, if you know what I mean. Especially the professionals. But yeah. Currently, they're talking to Will Power, actually. I do wonder whether he wants to still hit Grosjean in the face like he wanted to do last week overall. But yeah. Anyway, we can ready up then for this race here at Bahrain. Rightio. Just waiting for the lobby to load up, and then we will get back into the commentary. Waiting on 2 drivers, Cookie and Fate. Rightio, so just literally waiting for all the drivers to do what they need to do, the strategies and the strategies and the setups, they'll all have to be reapplied, and that's it really. So literally just waiting on that, and I'm not sure whether another formation lap is going to be on. Nope. So here we go then. It's lights out and away we go, and the Ferrari driver has got already a drive-through penalty after jumping the race start then, as Shea keeps then what will be technically his lead down into turn 1. So Shea then leads from Pilavardis, from Tom, from Fate, then, and the Haas coming under a bit of pressure from Noted, then, who currently sat 6th, and I think, was there a bit of contact between the two of Otmir and, Otmir and Noted? No, there wasn't, but anyway, Spray on the attack then, against the Alfa Romeo now, who's going to be attacking the Ferrari, and it's just like, well, effectively one attacks the other, but effectively kind of just seeing both attack each other, as the one of the, I think it was the AlphaTauris going off in the background of Mac then there, and a lot of cars going off in the background, as Chartman then making up a position then here, and we've got a yellow flag. Who is it for? I've completely missed it. It's for Fate, who's spun around, I think. Is he out of the race? Well, he's not, but he's got severe wing damage then, and that is a bit of a disappointment for him, because he's going to have to make his way back to the pit lane and obviously get a new wing, and ultimately not good to be starting that, as the Ferrari then comes in for what will be his drive-through, and Shea retakes the lead of the Grand Prix. So Tom has a 2-second gap to the to Shea in the Williams, followed by Tom, who's 2 seconds behind. Then you got Pilavidis in 3rd, followed by OP Gamer, Get Noted, and we've got nice job going down the inside of Well Anyway, and that is a move made up for him then here in this race early on. So he's up to 7th, and we've got another yellow flag, and this one, it's for the second Haas by the looks of it, and for DankyBot, who by the looks of it may have had a coming together, but Plain Cookie has got a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting, so that is certainly going to affect his race. Both Haas's in the walls already. Last week it was the McLarens, this week it's the Haas's, so yeah, it seems the win, obviously one is affected, that the other driver is also getting affected. But anyway, going back to the action, and we've got Get Noted and Spray fighting here, but nice job on the inside, so they're free side by side here then, which is pretty impressive. Into the wall, and that well, has also resulted in Get Noted getting damaged, and that is certainly going to be detrimental to his race. Will he have to make a pit stop? But he's still going to fight this with Spray and Prey, and Spray keeps the position, and he will be probably lapping at the moment, because ultimately he was the one losing out, and now he's the biggest gainer of that ultimately. So Spray will be certainly lapping, and for Spray it just allows him to kind of relieve himself, because he was under quite a fair amount of pressure during that. And now if he can just get his head down, get into a bit of a groove, you know, pull away from the AlphaTauri behind, which I'm sure he can, then he obviously will, well, maybe be able to catch up to OP Gamer in the Mercedes, and Gittinoni goes very wide. GRL anyway goes around the outside or inside, and will say thank you very much. And Just is also going to do the exact same thing, because that AlphaTauri is currently in limp home mode. But get noted, not giving up here, still fighting, being very, very resilient. But he will come into the pit lane, and that will be then the end of his fight, because he will drop to the back of the grid effectively, and will come out probably second to last then in this race. So who's the biggest gainers and losers then? Well, the biggest losers are the three drivers at the back, but the biggest gainer so far in this race is Sir Waffler, and we have a safety car. So a safety car is deployed as George Matt crashes out. So as I say, literally, when, you know, these drivers, you know, having bad races, it seems to be coming in twos by twos at the moment between the teammates. That isn't good news for Spray, because his teammates had a bit of a difficult start as well. But yeah, it seems to be coming in twos at the moment. Get noted had an issue, and now George Matt's out. So George Matt is out, but the good news for Fate is this, you know, will basically bring him back into the equation after, well, what was a difficult opening lap, which, yeah, certainly dropped him all the way to the back of the grid, and as you can see, has got a minute behind, and Get Noted has now picked up a drive-through penalty. So literally it is coming in 2x2s today. You know, could make a song out of this. We had the Noah's Ark song, and has he got another penalty? No. Has he got 2 drive-throughs? That can't be. How many drive-throughs has he got? I want to see that. Let's have a look. How many drive-throughs has he? Oh my days, he's got 2 drive-throughs. Sorry. Well, Get Noted is getting noted by the stewards at the moment. And has he picked up? Don't tell me he's picked up a 3rd. Let's just quickly check. Oh, he's picked up 3 drive-throughs. Well, that's his race over. Like, yeah. And now a 5-second penalty, literally. He's retired from the session, unsurprisingly. I mean, you got 3 drive-throughs. Yeah, that is, well, that's AlphaTauri's days over, overall. Pretty ironic, or funny, to see both literally AlphaTauri's not out, like, I'm not laughing at both AlphaTauri's out, but just the way Get Noted, you know, got 3 drive-throughs. I've never seen that actually before, a driver get 3 drive-throughs within such a short period of time, but there you go, you've seen it now. So, yeah. So, Shea started this race well. Obviously, his gap is now pretty much nil and void then here. He was 2.5 seconds out in front. As I say, or said in the last stream, obviously Shea's been 6 months out of action, and well, he's coming back and he's putting on quite the performance, quite the show. He's in a league of his own really today. Pole pulled out a very good gap on the opening lap, and ultimately, yeah, fabulous. So far is clear of everyone in my opinion. George Matt's left the session, unsurprisingly. I imagine, you know, I'd probably do the same in a minute's time or something. I'm not really too sure, but yeah. The only trouble is when you do leave the session, unfortunately, you know, it can cause a bit of lag, and ultimately not good when you're driving to experience that when someone leaves the session, but hopefully no one will be affected by it. So yeah, Chartman's had a good start actually. he's up 7 places. Same with Mac, he's up 8. Waffler's up 10, so all of these have had quite good starts. Let's have a quick look at what the strategies are. So obviously it's a 29 lap race, should be a one stop, but obviously, you know, who knows what it'll be. Or, you know, I suppose the Ferrari powered runners, you know, the drivers with the Ferrari powered cars, you know, their tyres, well, since the tyre glitch, have been, you know, the worst affected. So they'll be thanking, you know, for this early safety car, because it just allows them to extend their stints maybe a little bit, be a little bit more in touch with the drivers that aren't so heavily affected by the safety car, by the tyre glitch. So that will be one certainly benefit for them, of course. Same with, well, anyway, as well. Obviously, they're on mediums. I imagine they'll maybe do a medium-hard strategy, by the looks of things. But the safety car is now in this lap. So Shea will lead the pack away. And, yeah, Shea then will have control of the safety car restart. It's his prerogative of when he will go. And where does he go then? Will he take it all the way to the line, or will he bolt a bit sooner? And a bit difficult to tell actually when he's gone, but I think he's gone now then. And ultimately he's done okay then here by the looks of it, as you know, the Mercedes isn't really benefiting or attacking, but other than that, behind them it's a bit more fruitful then as well. Anyway, then gets past Waffler. Then I think it's Waffler. He got past, or did he not? I'm not really too sure, but anyway, as the McLaren then just goes up then the inside of Waffler, can he get the move done? And there is a big collision at the back here. We've got Danke off. We've got then, I think it was just Danke, Otmir and Ambat all off then. Not really too sure. As Nice Job takes, well, did he take out? I know he was, you know, he got taken out. Now he's taken someone out. Nice Job's taken out Plain Cookie, and Plain Cookie will be fuming at that, because, yeah, Plain Cookie is now once again at the back of the grid. Well, a Haas is at the back of the grid then here, as Fate then actually is up to 11th, so that's pretty solid work from Fate, as Chartman then is on the attack then here, sort of, but someone actually further up is on the actual attack, is Waffler. Yeah, Waffler, is he going to be close enough to the McLaren to get back past? Obviously just has got past him. The Waffler was in 6th, and now he's down to 7th, as I think Fate is getting past Chartman, as Ambat has picked up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I'm very good at detecting the penalties, just not really finding anyone on the overtakes at the moment, am I? As Fate, anyway, looks to go down the inside of Mac, gets the move done at turn 4, and actually that's a very nice, clean dive down the inside at that corner. Can he now get the Red Bull? He goes down the inside again, dives down, and those soft tyres certainly helping him out then in getting back up into the position where he was beforehand, and that's another position made up for the Haas driver then, as Mac also goes down the inside then of the Red Bull of Minar, I think that'd be right, Minar, N-N-N-A-R, so Minar. So Minar has lost out another position, and he's currently a bit under pressure as well by the looks of it from then the Alfa Romeo, but the Alfa Romeo is under pressure of Chartman from the Ferrari. So the Ferrari is also going to be under a bit of pressure here, as now DRS is enabled. So if you're in a second of your opponent, you are going to be able to activate that DRS on this lap. And remember, the DRS zones are between turns 3 to 4, turns 10 to 11, and then 15 to turn 1. And talking of someone getting past, well, Chapman's going to get the DRS, but literally this is going to be a bit of a DRS train as the Ferrari then driver gets past and goes down the inside. His nice job, who again makes a bit of contact and in the walls again and there, as we'll go then on board then with then the Ferrari driver, and again getting tapped by the Alpine then, who has had a few little moments today already, as nice job took out the hat and, well, got taken out himself by Get Noted. So, you know, he's been a little bit in the walls then here already, so obviously maybe driving with a bit of frustration at the moment, he could be, and obviously needs to calm down really in order to, you know, make up the positions he can do, because obviously he is better than that, obviously than tapping people's rear ends and all of this stuff. So yeah, we'll try and see any further battles a bit further up the grid, and Fate is currently looking to get past the McLaren then here, and also the Ferrari is going to be in a bit of a battle as well. So right, Spray is under pressure. Spray has been overtaken by, well, anyway, and down the inside Fate goes on then the McLaren, both of them getting the move done, but respectively also they'll have DRS in return, the McLaren and the Ferrari. So Ferrari doesn't quite be able to get the move done, but is looking pretty close. So long as he keeps within a second, or well, within 5/10, you know, he could, you know, obviously get back into that fourth place within a lap. So because currently the Alfa Romeo doesn't have DRS on the car ahead. It'd be interesting to see when these drivers' tyres start to go, obviously, because, as I say, there is a tyre wear glitch, so it'd be interesting to see how their pace will dip compared to the Red Bull, compared to the McLaren, because obviously these three currently, well anyway, Spray and Fate, currently, well, Fate's on the top, obviously the other two, or the other 5 ahead of Fate have done 9 laps, so it'll be just interesting to see when their tyres start to dip, and whether or not they have to pit earlier. And in fact, talking of pitting earlier, well anyway, is into the pit lane then, so anyway's in, and then we've now got a battle between Spray and Fate then, as Fate goes down the inside on Spray. Spray's gonna fight this, obviously. Spray, Fate gets a little bit of a tank flapper out of turn 2, and we've got a yellow flag as there's a little bit of contact between the pair. Fate then goes around the outside at turn 4. They're still fighting into this S section, and Fate is through then on the Ferrari. Fate gets up into P4, and Fate has come from last to P4. He's only 8 seconds off the race lead at the moment, so Fate is a real threat in this race, and is driving a fantastic recovery for himself, you know, doing himself very, very good justice here after what was a miserable, I'm sure, first lap. Probably after that first lap, probably felt being 54 seconds or 51 seconds, whatever it was, off the lead, probably felt deflated, probably felt the race was over, but clearly it's not. As GRL match then gets a 3-second time penalty. Spray does go wide, doesn't get a penalty, but very, very wide there indeed. And Spray now will have the DRS, will have also a bit of battery, as we can see, 27%, using that battery up then, as he will try to re-overtake then Fate here, and does so, goes then for the inside line, gets the move done into the braking zone, well into the braking zone, and is now up in the P4 again. But let's see what Fate can do then. Fate will have a opportunity again, more DRS, quite low on the ERS actual side of things for Fate at the moment, and ultimately them two battling very, very hard for what is P4 and P5 then here, and Fate then is all over the Ferrari, and Fate goes down the inside. Spray is gonna try and hold it then around the outside. Spray and Fate battling away. Can Fate maybe look at getting a move done into turn 10? No, but Spray once again off the track. Surely I would probably say he has to give up the position there. He does indeed, and that's fair enough as Fate then moves back up into P4. But these two, whilst they're fighting, they're actually taking a bit of time out of each other, you know, and probably doing a bit of each other harm, well, more harm than good, potentially, in this race, because it's just allowing the Red Bull, who could be caught by both of them in truth, it's just allowing the Red Bull to get away. But anyway, we'll see what happens in the next few laps. And obviously Shea is into the pit lane, so our race leader has come in. He will stick on the medium tyres, and that will be probably to get to the end of this race then here, with I think 15 laps to go, so 15 laps then. And these three at the back here also battling away for what is currently P1, P2, but you know what's going on here. And there's a Mercedes of Otmir Gamer around. I'm not sure whether GRL Mac made a bit of contact or whether the Red Bull made a bit of contact. I'm not really too sure what happened there. Just picked up last second. Seemed a bit unusual, a bit uncanny to spin like that on the straight. So, you know, I'm not really too sure. But let's go back to the battle I've been really enjoying today. Let's go back to this pack here, which currently fighting it out for, well, now P3 and P3 and P4. So Fate and Spray, and we've got a caution in the middle sector then, and that's being cleared. So back to green racing indeed. So yeah, Spray and Prey and Fate been battling it out all race long, as we got another yellow flag. In fact, we got two yellow flags. Could be a possibility of a safety car here. Could we see anyone just dive in anticipation of that? I think not. I don't think it will be a safety car, but you know, Spray nonetheless into the pits. Maybe he's been listening to my commentary. Could this have been a mistake? I don't know. But either way, he's given up those medium compound tyres, and they've only lasted 13 laps. Onto the hards he'll go, and he will come out then probably in P10, P11. I think it'd be P11. So good thing is he's come out in a nice clean bit of air for himself, and the undercut in this game is a very, very powerful tool, as his teammate has decided to DNF in the pit lane and retire his car, and Otmir is retired as well. So both of them two are out of the session, and we've now only got 15 runners and riders left then here in this race then. So yeah, Spray's got, you know, a nice bit of clean air. I'm sure he'll be trying to pump in the lap times as the Red Bull goes a little bit deep into that corner then there, and yeah, not too bad. Obviously, no, not going to be punished for it, for that maybe mistake or driving error, but you know, overall, if he's not careful, Aston Martin is going to be right over his gearbox in a second. Chapman having a lot better race than did in qualifying once again, so he'll be pretty soundly happy with it so far, I imagine. Obviously, can probably try and do a little bit better, get a bit further up the grid, I'm sure he'll be hoping for, but overall, trying a decent race in P9. And can the Aston Martin driver get through? Will he make a dive on the brakes into turn 1? No, not quite, but he's gonna be all over Red Bull still going into that turn, but it's a bit of a tank slap, a bit too early on the power maybe, and ultimately He then remains in P8. So, just was flicking through, finding a battle then for us there. And currently, nice job, has got himself up into P3. I must have missed something, because he was well down the order last time I checked on board with him. But yeah, P3 right now. And he is currently all over for this Red Bull. So far done 10 laps on these halves. Can he get those halves to the end? I think it's a bit of a tall order to do. Well, it'd be still another 13 laps on hards, so it's a bit of a tall order that is. But he'll get anyway up into P2 here. Takes the P2 away from the Red Bull driver, who's been a very strong driver in this race so far, Pilavidas. And yeah, doing a fantastic job and nice jobs now up into P2. As I said, you know, nice job last time I was on board with him, or back, you know, on the grid. He was tapping the rear end of the Ferrari, you know, driver. All a bit messy, really. Seemed a bit like, you know, what happened earlier on in his race, you know, was affecting him maybe slightly. Now, you know, literally about 8 laps later, and or whatever it is, 10 laps later, and we can see, you know, he's gone from basically 13th all the way up into the podium positions, and genuinely that could be a podium spot, because look, if he pits, you know, there's a chance he could come out, you know, ahead of the Ferrari. Well, where is the Ferrari driver? He's currently 9th. You know, if he actually pitted, you know what, he wouldn't be doing a unwise thing right now in this race to pit and go on to maybe a set of mediums or softs even, and just try and bring these home to the end of the race. You know, I'm not saying he is going to pit, but, you know, wouldn't be the worst decision in the world to do. So currently Tom leads the Grand Prix. However, it won't be for long, because Tom will have to come into the pit lane. Is he banking on a safety car here? You know, currently done 16 laps on those medium tyres. Shea is currently in 4th. He's 13 seconds, remember, behind. He is our net race leader. So, you know, obviously, the front 3 all still have to make a pit stop, who currently, you know, certainly from the last lap showed no sign or no indication that they'd be coming in. I'm not really sure what the Red Bull driver is doing at the moment, because they, to me, seem to be in a bit of a no man's land now, which I find quite interesting, because, yeah, they're not really got the pace to keep up with Nice Job, and they're losing also then ground back to the drivers that have stopped already in this race. So, yeah, I'm a bit intrigued. And you know what? Another driver who could be a bit of a threat here in terms of for a podium is GRL well anyway, because, you know, he's only 24 seconds. He's on the hards. He's already made his stop, I would have thought. So, actually, he could be a driver who, you know, could end up on the podium here. There's a few drivers. There's about 4 or 5 drivers fighting it out currently for P3. I think P1 and P2 are settled debates currently. Shea seems to have P2 in his hands. And talking of being in no man's land, Shea then has overtaken Pilavidas, then the Red Bull driver, the Greek Red Bull driver, and he is now down to P4. So, yeah, not certainly a weird race in terms of the context of things. So, yeah, Shea currently 11.7 seconds off the lead, doing a fantastic job on his return. 6 months out, you wouldn't have thought it, would you? Considering actually how good he's done today so far. You know, so far, you know what? I'm going to say it now, driver of the day by a absolute mile. You know, dominating, absolutely dominating. Because, you know I don't want to put the commentator's curse on it, but yeah, he's doing a fantastic job. Pole, you know, is driving absolutely flawlessly. You know, he's probably got about a 10-second advantage over Tom at the moment, who, okay, is yet to make a pit stop. Okay, we'll have 5 laps or 6 laps fresher tyres, but, you know, nonetheless, still doing a very good job. And Haas is off, but it's only momentarily at the back of the grid then there. But yeah, Shea then will retake the lead of this race in a very short while time, as Tom goes on to the softs, and I suppose that's a wise move to go on to the softs then. So this is what these drivers were doing. But is mediums or softs the right strategy? Clearly not, I don't think. And you can see he's 13.5 seconds off the race leader, which is huge because, yeah, you know, that is really, really huge overall for Shea, that lead. So Shea then, this will be the pass for the race lead then here, and here he goes on the inside. Yeah, there's no fighting that, is there? Shea is just in a league of his own and is now up into P1. So, Shea leads the way from a nice job from Tom, from, well, anyway, from Fate, from Spray, from Danke, from just No Man's Bob, and then from Pilavidus, from Sawafla, from Maynard, from Chartman, from Mac, from Amibat, who currently rounds up the back of the grid then, and is a minute and 6 seconds off the lead, as Mac going very, very wide there as we pick him up actually on that, and yeah, again going extremely wide. I'm not sure that is the ideal racing line through there, unless you want to get a penalty. I'm not really sure that was the ideal racing line. As Danke is into the pits, what does he go for? He goes for the softs, and currently that will drop him out the points. So who's going to get the last point then in this race? Will it be Chartman? Will it be Waffler? Or will it be Minar? I think that's how you pronounce Minar. Mar from Mar, Zlad Mar. Still, the Red Bull driver. Will it be one of these? Well, it will be one of these 3, obviously, maybe 4 here then. But yeah, it will be one of them who will get the last point of the day. Chartman would love to have that point, I'm sure. So would Waffler. In fact, all of them would. I'm pretty sure. More points you get in a race, well, the more happier you're going to be, and the higher you are going to be also in the driver's standing. In terms of, the championship, let's have a look how this might affect things. So currently, Nice Job is into the pit lane. He's on now to the softs, and as I say, he could be a real threat for the podium. Could have about 4 cars find it out for the podium actually here. That's my theory anyway. As Get Noted has rejoined, not sure why he's out of the race. If someone would like to tell him, but yeah, nonetheless, he's rejoined. Fair enough. Overall, and Spray then is up into 5th. Fate is 4th, and well, anyway, as I said, is now in the podium places. And okay, he's got 5 laps older tyres than the 3 laps older, 3 laps, sorry, 2 laps, 3 laps older than Spray, 5 laps older than Fate. But overall, there's only about 8 seconds splitting these, and Nice Job could be, I think, the one who will take the podium. But it's just interesting to see, whether or not Well Anyway can, hold on. I think this could turn into a bit like, a situation where just one will start backing up into the other sort of thing. A bit like a game of dominoes, if that makes sense. If you've ever played dominoes, where one just sort of, goes into the other. So, Fate will be backing into, anyway, backs into Fate, then Fate into Anyway, and then obviously Nice Job will catch them at the end of the race, I reckon. Could be wrong, we'll see. That's my prediction anyway here for this final podium spot. How is Tom getting on? Tom's closed that gap a bit. It's down to 9.4 seconds now. It was about 13, but he is on the softs, so he is going to be, using those softs a lot harder than what Shea is using the mediums. And ultimately, the mediums and hards are more of an endurance tyre, whereas the, hard, whereas the softs is more of like a tyre that is only going to produce you maybe 4, 5, maybe 6 or 7 good laps. That's it. Soon as you've gone beyond that, let's say, 5th lap, you're going to start to see a decline in the performance, pace, etc. So, I don't think we're going to have a fight for P1 here. But, for P3, I think anything can happen. As Nice Job is now up into P5, sorry, and Pilavidus is now overtaken as well as Spray and Pray, then is currently praying more than spraying overall, because he is dropping down the field like a fly at the moment. And ultimately Pilavidus did run wide, but isn't running wide enough for Spray and Pray here, as he will get the DRS, I think. Does he? Yes, he does indeed. This might help him close that gap, but I don't think it's going to be worth fighting. I think for Spray and Pray, he's better off just taking the points he can get here. Then, it looks like his day is a bit over, if you know what I mean. He's better off just taking the points he can get rather than taking the points he can't get. And talking of Nice Job, I did say I think he will get the podium. And you know what? He's coming through the field a lot quicker than I anticipated. He is really on the charge. Purple in the first sector as well. Let's see who's got the current fastest lap. Currently Nice Job. No surprise from there, is there? And Nice Job then is on the charge then here. Nice Job currently doing the work, doing the business. Currently the championship leader in the championship. Then will move to the inside, gets the job done well before the braking zone, and that is him into that P3. And that should be the P3, then I reckon, locked in for today's race. So Shea, Tom, Nice Job then will be your top 3, I reckon. Then overall, I don't see that changing if it does change. If it does change, it'll change only through mistakes. It won't change through anything else. And another driver who's on a bit of a charge at the moment is Pilavidus, the Greek driver, the Greek Red Bull driver. And he's currently chasing down, again, Well Anyway, and Fate for what will be P4. So, yeah, if he can get P4, that would be a very decent drive from him. Even though there was one point where he was, looking so strong. I think if he boxed sooner, done a more conventional strategy like Shea, he would most definitely be P4, but would have been, I think, a little bit stronger, or have a little bit of a better fighting chance in P3 there. Because I don't think P2 would have been on the cards for the Red Bull driver. No offense, no disrespect. But I think, certainly, overall, and what's going on here? We've got 2 drivers off the track. Chartman's up into the points. GRL Mac is off the track. What's really going on here? I have no idea. And yeah, GRL Mac goes down the inside. Chartman then sort of turns a little bit in on his opponent, and then we've got the Aston Martin then going side by side with them, and the Aston Martin goes through then, who now takes the point, and Chartman gets a switchback. It's a beautiful switchback from Chartman there. Go on, lads, mate. Go on, Chartman. That is what we want to see. Get that point for then the team, you know. And, well, Mac has just driven off into the gravel, and Chartman will be absolutely thankful of that, because Chartman, you know, is now into the points, well, into a point-paying position, and Chartman then has got now a nicer gap back to then Danke Bot, and Danke Bot is going to have to really chase down then Chartman if he wants the point. Not really sure what went on there with GRL Mac. He's retired from the session and is into the pit lane. But yeah, what happened there, who knows. And a driver who's, you know, overall, kind of lost his way in this race. I'm not sure where his pace gone to. It was such a strong start in this race. Also, Waffler. Again, you know, that's 2 races in a row. I remember, I swear, in Spain, Waffler had a very, very good start, very decent in the first number of laps, but then just, well, DNF'd eventually, did not finish eventually, but, yeah, well, you know, just the consistency at the moment, I suppose, he's missing. Certainly got decent pace, certainly got, you know, decent racecraft in clearly the early laps. It's just clearly something goes wrong somewhere at the midpoint of his race by the looks of it. And yeah, it's a bit of a shame for Waffler, because, you know, I think Waffler could do, well, I hope he'll pick up points this season. As we do have a yellow flag out. Who is it for? Is it for the Red Bull? Who is that red flag for? Red flag, sorry? Yellow flag. Is it for Amibat? I don't know. I don't know who the yellow flag was for. Might have been for Amibat. So, we're into the final then 4 laps of the race. You know, Tom is still chasing. 6.2 second lead, obviously. 7 laps old tyres. I imagine those will fall away from him soon. They've got to, surely. You know, I don't know how long you can go on softs before they'd start to drop off a cliff. Currently, 7 laps, you know, in terms of pace. Ain't got much battery left, but yeah, you know, Shea currently got a 6 second lead, still a very healthy lead. You know, as I say, I guess he doesn't need to take risk. If I was Shea right now, I wouldn't be taking any risks. Like, obviously still drive fast, but drive fast in a controlled manner, if you know what I mean, for Shea, who's, you know, been out front in a league of his own, literally in a league of his own, you know, and yeah, just doing a fantastic job then so far for Shea. You know, Shea's been mighty today, and, you know, Tom's been very good as well. Tom's, you know, be very, very happy with this. In terms of points-wise, he'll gain 3 points on Nice Job, who is currently the championship leader. He will be happy, actually, with his recovery, because he had an incident with Get Noted. Get Noted spun him around, you know, broke his front wing, had to make a stop. Then there was a little bit of an element, maybe, of frustration in Nice's Job's drive, you know, during the middle of the race, but, you know, he regained that focus and has, you know, produced an excellent comeback drive to get up into P3. Anyway, you know, GRL, anyway, he's been pretty decent, actually. You know, he's come out of nowhere, I feel. You know, a bit of a dark horse, really, in this race so far. Fate's been, another driver who dropped to the back of the grid. Very good recovery drive to get up into 5th so far, so, very decent. Spray back into 6th. Not sure how he's done that. Maybe the yellow flag was for Pilavidas, the Greek Red Bull driver, who, must have had a moment at turn 1. That's the only way, because he was 7th Spray. That would make logical sense to me. And Chartman will pick up the final point of unless he gets a post-race penalty. What are the penalties? As I've literally lost my sound. Yeah, I've literally lost sound. So, I'm not really sure what's gone on here, but I've literally got 0 sound. I can hear literally the beeping of the, what you call it. Oh, we've now got sound back. Not sure whether that was a glitch or not, and we've got no sound again. Oh, we've got sound back. I think, have we? I have no idea. Anyway, and we've now got no sound again. I don't know what is going on in this final. We keep on having sound dropouts. There's nothing wrong with my headset, from what I can see. I've checked my headset again, and yeah, had no sound there for a second. Anyway, Shay coming home then in P1, and he will take then the win, and we've now lost sound again, but he takes the win of the race after 6 months out. Tom comes home P2, Nice Job will come home P3, Well Anyway comes home P4, which, yeah, got on board, it's fine. We'll just have to do this, it's momentarily fine. It comes home P5. Just want to check something on my thingy. But nonetheless, Shay's done a fantastic job to win the race then there and to take full points after 6 months out of league racing action in GRL, and that for him is a fantastic result. I just want to see whether sound is coming through in terms of my voice on my YouTube quickly. Yeah, so clearly that's a game glitch, as you can see, which is a bit of a shame, because, yeah, a bit of a weird ending, if you know what I mean. But it was a good race. Driver of the day says Nice Job. However, I disagree. I think the driver of the day has to be Shay after 8 months out, 6 months out. Overall, he for me driver of the day, unquestionably. Yeah, I don't think you can give it to anyone else. So then the race rundown. then we'll start with the non-finishers, and then we'll go to the race winners. So the non-finishers for today, we have George Matt, Get Noted, the Ferrari driver, OP Gamer, Plain Cookie, GRL Mac, and then 3 laps down is Amibat. Then the winners of today, well, we have Shay, Tom, and Nice Job. They are your top 3, so congratulations to them 3. GRL anyway is in 4th, Fate 5th, Spray 6th, Pilavidus is 7th, Just No Man is in 8th, Zladmar is in 9th, the Italian Red Bull driver. Why do we have 2 Italian Red Bull driver and a Greek Red Bull driver? Not a good combo. Anyway, Charterman is in 10th, and Dankybot is in 11th. So Waffler finishes in 12th, and yeah, the other 2, I think, who was it? I'll just go back on the string. The other 2 was Amibat, and we said Amibat, and, well, actually Waffler was the last final runner. So, yeah, driver of the day, as I say, was Shay, for myself anyway. Led the race perfectly, done a perfect job after 6 months out of action. So yeah, congrats to him. And as I say, I did leave a link in the other chat. I'll probably attach a link tomorrow at some point to the live stream anyway. And well, for you guys to join the Discord, to join GRL, if you want to come and join. If you're new to my channel, please hit the like button. That would be appreciated. And obviously subscribe. And until the next time, I've got a commentary, I believe, on Tuesday in MRL. That'll be over on MRL's channel, where we've got Formula 2 on a Tuesday, Formula 1 on a Thursday, and we've also got Formula 1 on a Friday, a 3-tier system, well, 2-tier system, plus obviously the Formula 2, so 3-tier system we've got over there. So if you want to go check that one out, please do. That will be MRLS channel, which is Multi-Racing League server, and yeah, that's a good platform to come race as well. But otherwise, thank you for joining today's comms, and see you all next time for what will probably be, well, it'll be Tuesday. Then that'll be my next stream over on MRLS. So see you all then. As I say, subscribe to the channel and have a great day.